Pagdating dito sa dito sa mensahe ni President Marcos, what do you think, was he able to somehow hit the spot when it comes to delivering the perfect message, or the message perfect for the Philippine situation, at least at that point?
Yeah, I agree. No, yung himayin natin, no, that the sovereignty of the national sovereignty of the Philippines is non-negotiable. Yun yung unang sinabi niya. Of course, to trying to expound yung speech niya. Pangalawa, he was like trying to say the importance of ASEAN centrality. Kasi nga, of course, no, out of respect to his father, kasi co-founder yung tatay niya through, of course, representing the Philippines as a member of ASEAN. Gusto niya mapanatili ito. And it's still a question of where is ASEAN now? Are we, do we see yung centrality nito, yung neutrality nito? Kasi of course, no, naging ano tayo, battleground right now of hegemonic rivalry. Alam natin naman naging bipolar ngayon yung region natin because of China and the US. Although of course by tama si Sir Christian doon, no, may three pillars ka doon, yung political security pillar, economic pillar, and socio-economic pillar. Tama rin yung ASEAN way, yun yung kultura natin na non-interference, and of course yung consensus, no, decision making, which you can only see in ASEAN, no, kasi hindi naman ganoon yung mga European na mag-decide. So, and of course lastly, sinasabi rin niya na nag-iba na ang security architecture ng region. It's not what the Chinese have thought of, na obsolete, na ang resident power lang in the region are the Chinese or China, representing of course China, ASEAN, and others. Ganun lang yung nasa Asian na periphery lang. Pero sinasabi ng ating presidente, nagbago na ang geopolitics natin, no? Dahil sentro na ng mundo ang rehiyon natin, naturally all of the major powers from the old world pupunta talaga dito. Makikipagnegosyo sila, makikipagdiplomasya sila sa atin, and of course there will be contestation kasi they're finding their own space in this region, kasi nga tayo na yung napaka-importanteng rehiyon ngayon sa mundo. So I think that was the big revelations and context of his speech in the last Shangri-La Dialogue.
Of course, pag-usapan din natin yung naging response niya, kasi nga ang binabato naman sa kanya o sa Pilipinas ng China at ng mga propagandista ng China dito sa Pilipinas, pati yung mga nagsusulat din sa mga di umanay pahayagan or news outlets na alam naman natin na propaganda instruments ng China, pinapalabas nila ron na by standing up, with the Philippines standing up to China, it's basically moving back toward the United States. Kumbaga, from one master to another, sumisip-sip. Diba? Pero may sinabi si President Marcos dyan, diba? Sabi niya, I don't work for Beijing. I don't work for Washington. I don't work for Moscow. I work for Manila. I work for the Philippines, and that's what I need to promote. Ano yung importansya na I can't think of any clearer statement when it comes to pushing your independent foreign policy, at least based on a statement, no? Than this. Anong tingin mo yung naging impact or dapat maging impact niyang ganyan?
I think it was very powerful. Ibig sabihin nag-mature at nag-develop yung maiden foreign policy niya. Ibig sabihin nakita niya yung importansya ng when you say pro-Philippine stance, no, in the global arena. Bakit naging ganun yung kanyang statement? Natatandaan natin na ang ating presidente lagi na lang umaalis, pumupunta sa iba't ibang bansa. Because aside from yung economic mission, economic and trade mission niya to go around the world to get investments, naging siya, bearer and champion of national maritime rules-based norms. Tinanggap niya, isinapuso niya, he placed it in his mind, the importance of the Hague ruling, no? Napakaganda nito kasi kung titingnan ninyo, si President Benigno Aquino III yung nag-umpisa dito sa laban na ito, and of course he passed away. Sinalo ngayon ni President Marcos Jr. And you see the sons of the former presidents of the Philippines, nakita natin yung unity pwede palang mangyari sa politika natin, pwede palang mangyari yun, na yun ang tinatrumpet, ini-echo nila sa buong mundo ngayon, no? And of course, imagine we gained the respect of the international community. Never in our balikatan exercises, no, 39 years na natin ginagawa, na meron kang 14 countries na nag-o-observe because they believe in what the president is saying, na ipaglalaban niya yung teritoryo ng Pilipinas at naniniwala siya sa maritime rules-based order. And secondly, yung mga major powers, no, like Japan and France, no, gusto na rin nila makipag-alyansa sa Pilipinas through a visiting forces agreement, no. So inaayos nila kasi sa ngayon ang dalawa lang may ganun sa atin ngayon, yung Estados Unidos at saka yung Australia. And thirdly, nakikita natin na nagiging multidimensional yung diplomatic network ng Pilipinas, no. Ibig sabihin, importante 'yan dun sa nagtuturo kasi ako ng instruments of national power sa mga opisyal natin sa military, no. Isa 'yun sa mga inaaral natin, yung diplomatic clout mo. Para paniwalaan ka sa buong mundo, kinakailangan may ipakita ka sa kanila na katotohanan na naniniwala sila sa iyo. And I think President Marcos was very adamant in his stance doon sa maritime rules-based norms. So isa siyang champion. Ang Pilipinas ay ginagalang dahil dito sa pakikibaka natin. No? It's not anything because yun yung paniniwala natin, dahil yun dapat yung sabihin natin sa ibang sa buong mundo, no. Kasi wala namang nakakataas sa batas, no, not even China or other superpowers, no. Kaya nga ginawa itong mga batas na ito, itong international ito, para sumunod lahat ng bansa, para makaiwas tayo sa digmaan, sa gulo at sa mga conflicts.
Okay. Pero dito, ito, binanggit din niya kasi, no? The lines we draw on our waters are derived not from just our imagination, but from international law. We find the strength to do whatever it takes to protect our sovereign home to the last square inch, to the last square millimeter. Tapos, parang huli nagbanggit ng something akin to this was President Noynoy Aquino, no? As you mentioned, no? Oo. Yung
Very
ganyan,
poetic
parang,
sila, no?
Go ahead, sige.
Ang poetic ng mga words nila na very strong, no? I think yung not giving up an inch of territory is very strong, no? I think he pronounced that during his first SONA. Next month is his third SONA. Very consistent siya, very strong, brave ang kanyang mga sinasabi. And I think that's what the international community wants, no? Yung consistency ng sinasabi natin. Napapabilib natin sila. And of course, no, it's not only echoing it, but putting it into action. No, I mean, nung kahapon, may mga Coast Guardians akong kausap. Sila yung mga pumupunta doon sa West Philippine Sea, sa Scarborough Shoal. Minsan sa Second Thomas Shoal, no? At sinaswarm sila ng Chinese. Minsan, gamit na nila yung pinakamalaking vessel natin. Talagang sinaswarm sila ng China at pinapakita yung kanilang mga armas para takutin sila. So alam mo, mga bata ito, no, in their 20s and 30s. You see the courage and of course, no, yung risk na binibigay nila para sa bansa natin. And the mere fact that our president is saying those words, no, kasi alam mo ang mga sundalo natin, ang mga Coast Guard natin, those uniformed men and women, malalakas ang loob nila yan kapag matapang ang presidente mo. Yung sinasabi niya yung katotohanan at handa rin siyang tumaya para sa bansa natin. Whenever they hear the president like that, mas nagiging matapang sila, mataas yung moral nila, no? Kahit na maliliit yung gamit natin, talagang lalaban yan. Hindi yan nawawala sa kasaysayan natin. Nakita yan natin nung Second World War, Korean, Vietnam War, pati nga doon sa yung Yultong, no, kung saan napataob natin yung mga Chinese dahil sa tapang ng mga Pilipino. At saka recently nakita natin yan nung maritime civilian convoy na swinarm ng ating mga mangingisda at mga civil society, yung mga yung malalaking barko ng China. I think when you see a president saying those strong words, mas tumatapang ang mga Pilipino. Mas gustong-gusto natin yung ganun, no? Kaya natutuwa tayo sa katapangan na binabanggit ng ating sinasabi ng ating presidente, ng ating pangulo. Sana ipagpatuloy niya yan next year, midterm elections natin hanggang sa 2028 kapag meron na tayong bagong presidente. Sana ganun din consistent at katapang yung susunod na Pangulo ng Pilipinas para yung kwento natin hindi na nababago. Alam mo yung pag yung unified yung narrative natin. Kasi ngayon meron ng cognitive warfare, post-truth, cognitive dissonance. Sinishake kasi nila yung kwento natin. Kung napapataob nila tayo doon, nagiging mahina tayo. Pero pag malakas ang kwento natin, isa ang kwento natin, naratibo natin, nahihirapan sila. So I think that is the beauty of the president's speech doon sa Shangri-La Dialogue. Kasi alam nyo, ang tapang nung pinanood niyo yung video, ang tapang magtanong nung Chinese general. Pero nung sinagot ng presidente natin, napakatalino ng sagot niya. I think that was very powerful. Wow! Ang talino, ang galing ng presidente natin, no? I think kapag consistent kasi yung policy mo, consistent yung sinasabi mo, kahit anong katigas ng mga katanungan na tinatapon sa'yo, masasagot mo kapag galing sa puso lahat ng sinasabi mo. And I think that was the exact scene that we saw during the Shangri-La Dialogue. Napakagaling ng ating Pangulo during that time.